What the actual? What even happened in here? Wait, no. No, 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 no. Why? Why would he touch the kalista? What is he doing? I refuse. How do you even die so many times as a challenger player in low gold? Oh, that's why. God, this is worse than I thought. Okay, jokes aside, if you were on Reddit at least once in the past couple of days, you know that Dantes decided to switch to ADC to prove how easy this role is. And while his clearly delusional builds are one thing, he actually has no fucking clue on how to carry as ADC. And yes, I know he is rage baiting like crazy. But since his ADC swap isn't just that, apart from just shitting on him, this video will actually be also educational. But okay, enough of rambling, time to exactly point out the stupid shit he does. His first problem is his CSing. And by that I don't mean wave management or anything of the sort. Because he actually does seem to generally know what's happening with minions. Well, for the most part. But the biggest cause of him missing so many minions during the landing phase is the fact that he just doesn't know when to trade versus when to take minions. That and the insane 1v9 hard smurfing kills that he sometimes gets also for some magical reason surprisingly make him lose the minions. So yes, his wave management is good, but only when he is full HP on the lane. If he wants to reset, or enemies help him do it for him, he just loses tons of minions. Because his understanding of the tempo might be a bit skewed from all those years of playing a totally skilled champion. And that actually brings me to my next point, positioning. Now don't get me wrong, Dante's mechanics are really good, and I don't doubt him as a player in that matter. But he is a bit delulu when it comes to positioning during fights on the lane. He doesn't seem to understand that to trade you really need to play around your support, and constantly think of everyone's position. And what does he do? Well, just look at it yourself. He just goes in whenever into two people and trades. This lack of understanding that you actually do need to play around three other people at the same time makes his landing phase basically a pure coin flip. He is just too used to playing broken shit like Hecarim that can just go in, kill, and leave without taking much damage. And I know that without even looking at his gameplay. Look at his stats. They show everything. Ironically, this issue is very common among the low ELO players. I saw it happen one way or another in pretty much most of my coaching sessions. And yeah, you can't just frontline like that. And if he ever gets to climb higher, god damn it will he be stomped. Oh wait, he already dropped 600 LP on his main by playing ADC. And all he has to do to actually fix it is literally dropping the space glider ego mentality and realize he isn't exactly the 1v9 carry and he has to play more around the team. Now let's talk about the horse in the room. Stop booing at me, there is actual horse in the room and it's very relevant to the topic. Since Dantes only plays jungle, he doesn't really see that other roles might have different decision making and goals in mind. And that actually leads him to making the biggest mistake of them all. He plays around the wrong macro. And for the most people it might look like he knows what he is doing, but since you guys are all low ELO, I'll explain why it's actually not the case. He is just running around the map looking for fights, which in low ELO can work, because everyone wants to fight for absolutely no reason. And him being in those fights while having at least above 1 IQ can actually help his team. But here's the thing, he puts it above anything else, and because of it he ends up losing tons of CS, losing pressure on map or just dying. Because he also can't distinguish when it's good for him to join the fight and when to back off. Like in this clip, look what he does. Walks up, doesn't go for MF because almost entire enemy team is there, and then he decides to just stay AFK in the bush. Then he chooses to still pick a fight and almost loses. Like what was even the plan here, because there is no way he could do anything. And since his map is covered, I tracked his team so I can visualize it better. Yasuo was chilling top, Vigo was of course trying to make a 1v3 montage play, and Silas was dying on bot lane to Cho'Gath when Shaco was chilling next to them. There is no way he can do anything as an ADC, he is not Hika that can just run at them, steal Baron, kill, and back off. Meanwhile look at this juicy wave mid with a free tower. This is so fucking free. Now this disconnect from ADC macro is his biggest issue. And because of it I'm sure it will make him stuck in Emerald. Now don't get me wrong, he will not really have a hard time climbing till then, but apart from this rank being ELO hell, he will actually have a hard time going through there because he relies on the wrong macro to win so far. But honestly it's all pretty easy to fix, at least if you are already good. So to make it simple, so that all of you can learn from his mistakes, here are a few things that Dantes should work on if he actually wants to climb above Diamond. First of all, you need to start thinking like an ADC. You are the carry, yes, but you are not a 1v9 machine. You need to understand that you are a conditional carry, and you have to rely on your team to actually hard carry during the fights. The best example of it are Korean ADCs. As Azub said in one of his videos, Korean ADCs do know that they are not the main character here, unlike in EU or NA servers.
Did you come across any good AD carries? Ironically enough, Korea has some ridiculously good AD carries. They understand the role. A lot of people believe AD carry is like, I'm me, I'm AD carry, everybody plays around me. In Korea, AD carries understand if they're being weak-sided. They go 1-5, 1-8 without typing, and they scale, and if they're good, they play really well.
Ironically enough, Dantes partially does that, at least during the landing phase, but the moment he leaves bot lane, the synapses in his brain fire and all he sees are fights everywhere, which could work with his main, but it's not a thing in 99% of the cases when you play ADC, especially if he doesn't really play around his support as much. And how to fix it? Well, there are many ways to approach it, but first of all you need to be aware it's a 2v2 lane. You really need to pay attention to your support and try to play with them. Because even if your support is completely inting, you might still capitalize on it if you react to their movements in the first place. Now for the next issue, CSing. It's not too much of an issue for him, because he still does know the fucking game and knows what the champions do. All he needs is some more practice on how to last hit under tower, or how to use skills to improve the CS and landing phase. But for the losing CS to random bullshit, he should learn that if the wave is pushing towards him, he doesn't really want to die. And taking 300 damage to attack enemy once while losing CS to tower is also not the most optimal. And for the last and most important issue, macro. ADC macro doesn't mean perma-fist fighting with randoms on a river. Take a break sometimes. Because guess what? 200 gold, XP, and map pressure can actually be more useful than a fight you can't even join. Crazy, I know. Anyways, to fix it you really need to understand that you don't need to participate in every fight, because as I said earlier, you are not exactly the carry. Your team can win without you, or at least in most games you are simply not as important to be in every fight. Because your team will be able to back off, you are not an engage, you are not peel, you are just some damage that will die quickly. So instead of pointlessly moving around the map, think before if you are actually needed in a fight, or if you can get something else on the lane instead. And that's pretty much all. Thanks, bye.